Hello, Power English enthusiasts. Today, let's delve into some interesting expressions. 1. Immerse oneself in something. First up, we have the phrase, immerse oneself in something. Now, to immerse oneself means to fully give your attention to something. Imagine this. During my vacation, I plan to immerse myself in classic literature, devouring as many novels as I can. And speaking of attention, John, where were you? I've been calling your name repeatedly. Sorry, I was immersed in this documentary about space, he says. Classic John, always lost in the cosmos. 2. I couldn't agree more. Now, on to our next gem. I couldn't agree more. This phrase is the go-to when you agree completely. Picture this. The weather today is perfect for a picnic. Couldn't agree more. Let's pack some food and head to the park. And if someone suggests that eating veggies is crucial for health, well, that's true. I should incorporate more veggies into my diet. Agreed. 3. Be down in the dumps. Feeling a bit down in the dumps lately? Don't worry, we've all been there. It's an informal way to say you're feeling sad or depressed. Ever since she lost her job, she's been down in the dumps. Tough times, but you know what? Whenever I'm down in the dumps, I turn on my favorite music. Music to the rescue. 4. That's true. And lastly, that's true. It's a simple phrase, confirming the accuracy of a statement. My job has made me very unhappy. That's true. Recognizing the truth is the first step to change. So stay tuned for more insights and idioms right here on Power English.
Hello, everyone. I'm Kristen Joe.
And I'm Cameron Word.
Okay, so how's it going, Cameron?
It's going quite well.
Really?
So, you know how I told you I quit coffee?
Yeah.
For like 6 weeks?
Right.
I started drinking it again.
I knew you would.
And honestly, my life is so much better.
I'm telling you. Coffee is not so bad.
It wasn't worth it.
No.
I guess it depends on the person. I was just expecting to have all of these like health benefits and feeling much better.
Yeah.
No. So I'm back on the coffee. And, you know, it's honestly, I love it. Wake up to warm coffee.
And now we're heading winter. I mean, you've got to have coffee in your life. And to be honest, if you were forever a non-coffee drinker, I don't know if we would continue Power English together. That's
It's
how
true.
strongly I feel.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, living here in Korea, traditionally, I guess Korea is a tea culture,
Sure.
but it's such a coffee culture
Now
now.
it is, right.
Like,
Big time.
I think it would be difficult to not drink coffee and live here, especially when there's so many great cafes.
Right. I agree. Good for you. Welcome back.
I'm back in the caffeinated world.
Thank goodness.
Yeah.
Okay. We are hiking in autumn.
Yes.
And the subtitle is, It Was Good to Immerse Myself in Nature. And immerse oneself in nature or in something is one of our 3 phrases.
Yes.
So to immerse yourself, IMMERSE, yourself in something. What does this mean?
So this word immerse originally means to get into a liquid, so like get into water and be
Yes.
covered with water.
Right.
But we can also use it now to mean you're focusing completely on something.
Okay.
It's all you're thinking
You're
about.
all, like your whole body is in it.
Yeah, your whole body is in it.
Okay. Another expression that we're going to cover is I couldn't agree more. You are disagreeing?
No, you're agreeing completely.
Wow.
You already agree 100%, so you can't agree more.
Wow. Okay. If you are feeling down in the dumps, or if you are down in the dumps, DUMPS. Now, okay, why are you smiling?
It's just a funny expression.
It is.
Yeah.
What does it mean?
So a dump is usually like a place where you throw trash.
Yeah.
But if you're down in the dumps, it means that you're very sad.
Yeah, very sad. All right. You feel a little trashy.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. All right, let's go ahead listen to that dialogue.
We need to start heading back down the mountain, Deidre.
Well, it was good to immerse myself in nature for the day.
I couldn't agree more. I even found solutions to a few problems in my life today.
That's great to hear. You seemed to be down in the dumps all last week.
That's true. I didn't realize how unhappy I've been lately until I sat in complete silence at the peak of the mountain.
It helped that we didn't see many other people out here.
Here we go. So, Marcel says, we need to start heading back down the mountain, Deidre.
Mm-hmm.
So, they're heading back means...
They're returning to where they came from.
That's right. So they hiked up, and now they're going to go down.
Yes.
Okay? And Deidre says, well, it was good to immerse myself in nature for the day.
Yes.
So since she's on a hike, she's in the mountain, there's a lot of nature.
Yeah.
So she immersed herself.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
So to immerse, like we talked about, originally means like to get completely in water or another liquid, but now we often use it to mean that you're focused completely on something, or you're completely surrounded. Interestingly, it's very similar to the Korean word 몰입.
몰입하다.
Yeah. So where that 몰 in 몰입 is about getting into water, right?
Wow.
So that immersion, so to speak, can both be about getting inside a liquid. We also talk about like an immersion program where if you're learning a language, you speak only in that foreign language.
That's right.
Yeah, those are all examples of being immersed in something.
Okay, great. I think 몰입 is a good translation. And of course, depending on the context, there are other words, but this is definitely one of them. Okay, so what does Marcel say?
I couldn't agree more. I even found solutions to a few problems in my life today.
Okay, I couldn't agree more is an interesting way of saying, I very much agree.
Yeah.
But it's a little confusing.
It is.
Because it's couldn't.
Right. It's couldn't. And the more I can understand why this expression would be a little hard to understand when you first see it, but it means that you agree completely. So if you agree completely, you can't agree more than completely.
Right.
Right? If something is 100%, you can't do 101%.
No.
You can't do more than 100%.
That's right.
Right?
Right.
So that's why we say I couldn't agree more to mean I agree completely.
I agree completely. And I tell you, I don't think you would hear, it would be common to hear a native speaker say, I agree completely. There are so many other ways of saying, I agree completely.
Right.
So this is definitely one of them.
Yes.
I couldn't agree more. Okay, good to know.
Yes.
And Marcel says because they immersed themselves in nature, Marcel was able to find some solutions to some problems.
Yeah. If you have problems in your life, go to the mountains. Go to the forest.
Yeah.
Go to the beach.
Go to the beach and do nothing.
Do nothing. And then oftentimes you realize, the simple solution for the problem I couldn't think about.
Right.
Yeah.
Some people say that when they drive, that's kind of their time to just kind of do nothing.
Yeah.
Just like focus on driving. And then I think what it does is it clears your mind a little bit so that you are able to find another way.
Right.
Right?
Or like if you're in the shower.
Yeah.
Because you can't be on your computer in the shower.
No.
You can't talk on the phone in the shower.
That's right.
So you're forced to be kind of immersed in your own thoughts.
Right.
Right?
And that's another way we use that expression. Oh, you seem very immersed in your thoughts.
Yes.
Deidre says, that's great to hear. You seem to be down in the dumps all last week. So this past week, you were down in the dumps.
Yes. So to be down in the dumps, like we talked about, dump is a word that means is a place where you throw your trash. Like the dump is where all of our trash goes after we put it in the trash can and the city collects it together.
Right.
But this expression specifically, down in the dumps, just means you're feeling very depressed.
Yeah.
It's not just a sad, it's just like, oh, it's the worst it could possibly be.
Now, Cameron, we do also say, I'm feeling a little down today.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we just use the word down to say, I'm feeling kind of sad or I'm feeling a little depressed. What is the difference, or is there a difference between I'm feeling a little down or like, oh, I'm kind of down in the dumps?
Yeah, so I think down in the dumps is more extreme. So if you're just a little sad, you can say, I'm feeling a little down. But if you're just, gosh, everything is terrible, you're sad, maybe you're depressed and feel no emotion whatsoever, that's when you would use down in the dumps.
Good. All right. What does Marcel say?
That's true. I didn't realize how unhappy I've been lately until I sat in complete silence at the peak of the mountain.
Okay, so Marcel has been down in the dumps, and he didn't realize that he was feeling so depressed. So here's another expression, and this is our power pattern, to indicate agreement.
Yes.
That's true.
Yes.
Well, when you translate this into Korean, it's like 사실이야. 진실이야.
Yeah.
It sounds a little awkward. What does this really mean?
Right, so this isn't necessarily talking about the truth.
False.
Or false or a lie.
Lie.
We're not emphasizing that. It's more of just an expression to say you're correct or I feel the same way. So it's agreement often whenever you're using this.
Right. So it's like someone says something and you're like, yes, you make a good point. That's true.
Yeah.
Okay. And then the peak of the mountain is where?
It's the very top of the mountain.
Yeah, that's
just
right.
like we talk about peak season, the most popular. In the same way, the peak of a mountain is the often pointy top of the mountain.
All right. Deidre says it helped that we didn't see many other people out there. So it wasn't very crowded.
Right.
So it was a good time to go out into nature and, kind of think about things, find solutions.
Maybe meditate a little bit.
Meditate a little bit. Yeah. All right. Let's go ahead and listen to that one more time.
We need to start heading back down the mountain, Deidre.
Well, it was good to immerse myself in nature for the day.
I couldn't agree more. I even found solutions to a few problems in my life today.
That's great to hear. You seemed to be down in the dumps all last week.
That's true. I didn't realize how unhappy I've been lately until I sat in complete silence at the peak of the mountain.
It helped that we didn't see many other people out here.
Okay, it's time for Power Note. Let's do a quick review. If you immerse yourself in something, it means that you are giving full attention.
Yes.
You are completely involved. John, I've been calling your name repeatedly.
Sorry, I was immersed in this documentary about space.
So you could be immersed in a movie.
Yeah.
Or a song.
Or a book.
Or a book. And so it just means that your attention is so focused on that sometimes if you're immersed in it, maybe you don't hear what other people are saying.
Right.
Okay. I spent a year in Paris immersing myself in French culture.
Yeah, kind of like we talked about when you're studying a foreign language or you're studying abroad.
Right.
Immersing yourself often completely in something is a great strategy for getting better at speaking and all of that.
That's right. So that's why when some parents ask me about, their children and sending them abroad, to study English in America, and I always tell them, never send them to like a big city where there are a lot of other Korean kids.
Right.
Send them like in the middle of
Arkansas.
Or Nebraska.
Yeah, definitely.
Because that way you can immerse yourself. The student can immerse herself or himself in that culture too. Culture is very important part of language learning.
So true.
One more example of what we can immerse ourselves in.
So you can immerse yourself in your thoughts, or you can be immersed in a speech that someone is giving. You're just focused so much on their words and what they're saying. all those things.
Right.
So maybe we have some people that get fully immersed whenever they listen to Power English.
Oh, I
Which is
hope so.
So interesting. That's all that
my
they can
gosh,
focus on.
That's great. I like to think so. Okay, I couldn't agree more is another way of saying I agree completely.
Yes.
Okay, this wasn't a very good meal. I prefer Tony's tacos to this place.
I couldn't agree more. My burrito was cold and bland.
Yeah. I couldn't agree more. His ideas are very outdated.
Yeah.
So what is the word outdated?
Outdated means it's old style. Maybe it was popular back, many years ago, but now things have changed, the trend has changed, and people don't do it that way anymore.
That's right. So I could have said, oh my gosh, his ideas are like, oh gosh, very old.
Yes.
Or, they're just like not really interesting.
Yeah.
I couldn't agree more. His ideas are very outdated. I think this is a really great expression that you should keep in your little expression bank.
Yeah.
To make your conversations more colorful.
Right. And it is something that you will hear native speakers kind of just spit out, almost like it's one word. I couldn't agree more.
I couldn't agree more.
It's just all
my
put together.
Yes.
It feels like a set.
Yeah.
That we just can say it. I couldn't agree more.
I couldn't agree more.
It just comes out so easily. I couldn't agree more.
Right. So instead of saying I couldn't agree more, it gets completely linked and it just has become one word.
I agree. I couldn't agree more.
I couldn't agree more. That's good.
Yeah.
I couldn't agree more. Okay. So how about something like, I think pizza is one of the best foods in the world.
Oh, I couldn't agree more. I could eat pizza every day, which is probably true.
Which is true.
I could probably eat pizza every day.
Really, really?
I know. So the times when I don't want to eat pizza are the times I know I'm probably sick. Like that's a first sign. Like if I don't want to eat pizza,
you're so
I have to think like, am I sick? Is there something wrong with me?
Oh, that is too funny.
Yeah.
It's like your body's like, no pizza for today.
Yeah.
I'm not feeling well. Oh my gosh,
Yes,
that's
what it's
hilarious.
like,
Okay, if you are down in the dumps, it clearly means that you're feeling depressed or sad. But we want to know exactly when, how sad or how depressed.
It's very depressed.
It's very, right?
And it's usually for a long time. It's not like you're down in the dumps for an hour.
Or a day.
Yeah, it's usually quite a bit longer. A few days at least.
Yeah, at least.
And I would say, maybe weeks or months.
Or years.
Yeah, or years.
Okay. Why are you so down in the dumps lately?
The vet said my dog is very sick.
So again, lately means recently.
Yeah, at least
which
a week,
means
I would
a
say.
week or even two. Whenever I'm down in the dumps, I turn on my favorite music.
Oh, yeah.
So my question to you, Cameron, is when you're feeling down in the dumps, what do you do?
When I'm feeling down in the dumps, I like to try and just leave my house. Just change my environment.
That's good.
It doesn't have to be a particular place. It doesn't have to be a fancy place. But I feel like whenever I'm really sad, I just have to
go out.
Not be where I usually am.
Well, good. And that's smart. Sometimes, the body has to take over.
Right. It could be, I could be going to just a cafe, a hotel, but it has to be alone. If I'm down on the dumps, being with people doesn't help.
Oh, yeah.
I need quiet time. What about you?
Time.
When you're down in the dumps, what do you do?
Well, I do. I'm just home.
Just home.
I close the door and I lock it.
Mommy time.
Mommy time.
Oh.
That's right. Okay. Power pattern. That's true. Means what you just said is right.
Yeah, I agree.
That's true. My job has made me very unhappy.
That's true. A little exercise can change how you feel.
Okay, very good. So it doesn't have anything to do with lies or something that's false. Just means yes, you are right about what you just said.
Yes.
Okay, the peak here, of course we were talking about peak of the mountain, which is the highest point.
Yes.
But you could say the peak of one's career, the peak of, I don't know.
The peak tourist season. It's just the highest point of something.
Very good. Check out the definition on page 126, and let's thank our sponsor.